Today we had a beautiful short opportunity on Ethereum, and this was a bit harder to answer because this was not what you see every day on my channel. So let's get over it. All right, I'm going back in time a little, and then we're gonna trade this range like a real trade because we have to build context first, and context is very important on this particular trade because it had a lot of confluences as well. You came into not extreme, you came into supply, and when I look on the lower time frame, it's gonna be a bit more clear because you took all the liquidity of this point, so you had your first move up before going down, and that's gonna be a very important liquidity point. And you had obviously supply right there. And let's look at the 30-minute if it was more clear. No, on a 45 maybe. And then you're just flickering through the time frames and just look, hey, on which time frame is my supply looking the most clean, and that's gonna be on the 2 hour. You see that last candle going up before going down, and you see on the Bojan high already something happening, because what do you see here? You see price, you see price going up, you see price price going up, you see price going up, and you see model 1 here already. You kind of see a model 1 here, then you can go higher for the back test, for the test, and then go lower. So that's how you trade Bojan. This was a Bojan type of trade, so I'm going over it. It's very interesting because you don't see that often on my channel. On the 3 hour you can see as well. You of course have really quick highs like this. Boom, 1 2 3. That's a pretty Bojan high. You have highs like this. Boom, 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 and you can even have another candle. You have 3 right there, and then another candle. Boom, taking all the liquidity. So that's what we are looking for. And let's look at the lower time frame, because this wasn't really a Wyckoff trade. It was a Wyckoff trade, but it was a bit weird because this was basically just a range, because you already took out the range low right there. You took out this right there. This was just a range, and price was going out of the range and back inside the range, but not back inside enough that I could say, hey, this is just a deviation. Technically it is still valid to look at model 1 like this, but it is not what I would look for to trade normally, because this is just looks more like a new range. So I'm gonna draw my range like this, and then I'm gonna see we have a new range, and I'm going to watch for a new better top. So this is gonna be my range from high to low, and I'm gonna watch, hey, do we create a good top here in supply? And you had that supply POI on your third tap. That's how you could have known that this was gonna be a model 1 and not a model 2. Because would I have traded a model 2 right here? Would I even look for an extreme supply POI like that, you know? No, because I want price to mitigate the extreme supply. That is why context is so important. Not extreme supply, but just supply. That's why context is so important. So let's go on to 1 minute and let's see where our entry could have been, because did we create some supply after mitigating that? And yes, we did. So we came into this after going lower, then we kind of had our first move up, and then we have to go lower. On the 30-second you had very nice looking structure right there. So you had 2 candles going down, and then you have your SFP, because this is not a breakup structure, this is an SFP. And after an SFP you're gonna always watch for level 2 market structure break, and this is gonna be your structure break. So you would normally enter right here, but now you have SFP'd it. So when you SFP it and you create new structure, you SFP price, you create new structure, look at this, then this can be your new break. This can be your new break. So first this was your new break. This was your break. Boom, price went higher, and now this can be your break, because you SFP it right there. You SFP it, you make new structure, and this can be your break. So let's see what happened right there, because on the 30-second we had a break right there, boom distribution, but on 1 minute it's a bit tougher because we didn't really had structure. So when I play it, you see the entry was a bit tough. What could you do? You could wait for this to close. You had a close right there. What your entry could have been. So then you would enter right there with the stop above the high and not targeting the range low but lower, but I'm gonna talk about that later. So the perfect entry would be the 30-second entry right there. Here, this was a bearish close under the break of structure, and there another bearish close. You enter on the second candle, and there your stop goes above the high. And then what do you target? Because now you have entered, what do you target? Let's delete that for a bit more clean. And you didn't really bounce from a very good looking demand level down there, so a target was a bit hard to draw, because this is gonna be a whole demand. Like, this is a whole demand, so this is a move down before going up, leaving this inefficiency right here. So what would I do with a TP? I would have 70%, 75% at my range low target right there. And I, of course, would have a TP on the demand, the last 25%. What was demand? This whole zone is demand. Like, this is a move down, going up, leaving an inefficiency. You want to fill this inefficiency. Like, this is very important. You want to fill this inefficiency with price. So that is why a demand level is created, to fill inefficiency. So you're targeting that. You have some more refined demand right there, but that's where price exactly bounced off from. I would just TP right there at the higher time frame demand, and there you have an average RR of 3. See you in the next one, guys. Join the circle and the good luck. See you. Ciao, ciao.